I still remember the sound of her voice, whispering, "You're doing great," as she injected something into my IV. But it was the look in her eyes that haunts me to this day. I've been working the night shift as a patient in a hospital for a while now, and I've seen some pretty messed up stuff, but nothing could have prepared me for what happened on that fateful night. It started when I was admitted for routine surgery. The doctors were all smiles, telling me everything would be fine. But as I lay in my hospital bed, recovering from the anesthesia, I began to notice something off about one of the nurses. Her name tag read Nurse Jenkins, and she seemed friendly enough at first. But as the night wore on, I started to notice that she would come in to check on me every hour, on the hour. Not just to take my vitals or administer medication, but to stare at me. Like really stare at me. At first, I thought maybe she was just new to the job and was trying to make sure I was okay. But as the hours ticked by, her behavior became more and more erratic. She'd inject things into my IV without telling me what they were, and whisper strange things in my ear like "you're doing great" or "just relax." It wasn't until I overheard her talking to one of the other nurses that I realized something was seriously wrong. They were discussing a patient who had coded earlier that night, and Nurse Jenkins was laughing about how easy it had been to. Well, I don't want to say what she was laughing about, but let's just say it didn't sound very professional. As the night wore on, I started to feel more and more uneasy. I tried to call for help using the nurse call button, but it seemed like no one was responding. I was trapped, and Nurse Jenkins was the only one who seemed to be paying attention to me. And then I saw her eyes. They were black as coal and seemed to bore into my soul. She leaned in close and whispered, "It's time," in my ear. The next thing I knew, I was being wheeled out of my room and into some kind of dark, abandoned hallway. I don't know what happened next. I blacked out, and when I woke up, I was back in my hospital bed. Nurse Jenkins was gone, and the doctors were telling me that everything had gone smoothly. But I know what I saw, I know what I felt, and I know that Nurse Jenkins was not what she seemed. As I lay in bed trying to process what had happened, I couldn't shake the feeling that something was off. I started to notice strange things about the hospital, like the way the nurses would whisper to each other in the hallways, or the way the doctors would glance at me with a mixture of concern and suspicion. I knew I had to get out of there, but I was too scared to leave. I was trapped in a hospital with a nurse who seemed to be hiding something sinister. I've been doing some research, and it seems like there have been several cases of nurses being accused of misconduct or even murder in hospitals. I'm starting to think that Nurse Jenkins might not have been acting alone. If you have any information or similar experiences, please come forward. Let's bring the truth to light. I've been getting a lot of messages from people asking if I'm okay, and if I've reported this incident to the hospital. The answer is yes, I've reported it, but nothing seems to have been done. I'm starting to think that I'm not the only one who's experienced something like this. I've been digging deeper into Nurse Jenkins' past, and it seems like she has a history of suspicious behavior. I've found several online forums where people are discussing similar experiences with her, and some have even gone so far as to accuse her of being an angel of death. I'm not sure what to believe, but I know that I need to get to the bottom of this. If you're a healthcare worker, or if you've had a similar experience with Nurse Jenkins or any other medical professional, I want to hear from you. Let's uncover the truth together and bring justice to those who have been harmed.